Good evening, everyone. You are streaming live on YouTube. Mr. Court Reporter, can we please go on the record?
You're on the record, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Welcome to the Maryland Public Service Commission's public comment hearing in case number 9765, application of Colora, LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct a 5-megawatt solar photovoltaic generating facility in Cecil County, Maryland. My name is Kristen Lawrence. I'm a public utility law judge at the Commission. Today is Wednesday, April 16th, and it's approximately 6:30 p.m. Colora filed its application for Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity on December 3rd, 2024. The project is anticipated to occupy an approximate 21.5-acre portion of a 115.5-acre property at 308 Theodore Road, Port Deposit, described by Tax Map 23, Grid 4, Parcel 10 in Cecil County, Maryland. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to provide information about the project and to take comments from members of the public about the application. Copies of the application are available for viewing at the Cecil County Department of Land Use and Development Services, 200 Chesapeake Boulevard, Suite 2300, Elkton, Maryland, 21921. All the documents filed in the case are also available on the Public Service Commission's website at psc.state.md.us, and they can be accessed by using the case search feature. I'm going to share my screen and go over that. So you should now be seeing the Maryland Public Service Commission's website. So on the left side, the case mail log portal box. You click on that, and then in the search box, you put in the case number and then hit search. And then you'll see all the documents that are filed in the case. In addition to the comments that we'll take this evening, written comments may be filed, and those may be filed by first-class mail through August 8th of 2025. The other way to submit comments is to submit them electronically. I'm going to share my screen again. Apologize. To make a public comment electronically, in the center of the Commission's website, under Tools, you'll see Make a Public Comment, and then the instructions are here. There is a one-time registration. There's also the address of where to submit comments by mail in this location. I will post the address at the conclusion of the hearing if people want to mail comments in. This is the initial public comment hearing. A second public comment hearing will be held during the week of July 21st, and the intention is to have that in Cecil County. At that time, PPRP will have its recommendations and will be able to present them. If there are no contested issues between the parties to the case, a hearing will be held on August 19th, 2025 at 10 a.m. That hearing may be held in the 19th floor hearing room of the Public Service Commission's offices in Baltimore, or it may be held virtually. This evening, we're going to start with a presentation of the project by the applicant. After that, you'll hear from the Department of Natural Resources Power Plant Research Program, and then the technical staff of the Maryland Public Service Commission as to their roles in this case. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to counsel for the applicant.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you everyone for attending this evening. My name is Colleen Collins. I'm an attorney with the law firm Gordon Feinblatt, representing the developer Halo Colora LLC. I'm joined by a representative of the developer, Mr. Michael Luisa, and the project consultant, Mr. Sean Miller from Kimley Horn. And Your Honor, we do have that brief presentation ready whenever you are.
Okay. Who's going to be giving it? Mr. Loso, did you say?
Good evening, Your Honor. Good evening, everyone. It's actually pronounced Lasia. I know it's spelled Losia, but the pronunciation is Lasia.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem at all. Your Honor, if I may, can you allow me to share my screen to
Yes.
scroll through just a brief?
Okay, I've just made you host. You should be able to share your screen now.
Can everybody see my screen?
It looks good.
Okay. So the project is called Halo Colora LLC or Port Deposit Solar, and the applicant name is Halo Colora LLC, but Halo Energy, which I'm a founder and one of the owners of, is the actual parent company that is currently developing the project. As Your Honor already discussed, and Colleen as well, the applicant is Halo Colora LLC. My name is Michael Lassi, again, one of the founders and owners of Halo Energy, which owns Halo Colora. Kimberly Horn is our civil engineers and our electrical engineers for the project. Sean Miller is the lead engineer for this project, along with all of our other projects on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. And our counsel is Gordon Feinblatt, which I'm not sure if David's on this public hearing, but Colleen is, and they represent us as far as all of our matters regarding land use and CPCN proceedings. Oops, sorry. So again, Halo Colora, it's an entity that's owned by Halo Energy. Halo Colora is the project company that is holding all the development assets and will be a standalone entity once the project hits construction and is commercially operating. Halo Energy is a renewable energy developer with a focus on community solar throughout the United States. Currently, Halo Energy is in advanced stage development for 14 projects throughout the Eastern Shore in Maryland. And majority of those will be going through CPCN. And for the 14 community solar developments under the Maryland Community Solar Energy Generating Systems Program, currently Halo Energy is in a joint venture with an entity that has a community solar portfolio of greater than $750 million of assets, over 100 projects totaling over 400 megawatts in construction or operation, and over 25,000 subscribers. The project details that I believe Your Honor briefly discussed as well. The address is 308 Theodore Road, that's in Port Deposit, Maryland. The map identifier is map 23, grid 4, parcel 10. The county is Cecil. The zoning is Northern Agricultural Residential. The landowners are an individual husband and wife, David and Barbara Miller. The parcel size is 115.5 acres. The project area is actually 26.9 acres. And that includes all of the vegetation screening and the access road and all the other requirements for the solar facility. The project type is considered a utility scale solar. It will be a 5 megawatt AC project, and the distribution utility is Delmarva. This is just a quick slide deck that has a few pictures of the site from the ground level. If anybody has interest in viewing these. This is our conceptual plan that has been submitted as part of our environmental resource document and will be submitted to the local jurisdiction, Cecil County, when we are submitting materials for the grading permit and other requirements that are needed to be able to achieve a grading permit. As you can see, the facility is primarily on the western portion of the site. It will be enclosed with at least a 6-foot high fence. I believe it'll be 7 feet chain linked. The access road will be coming directly off of Theodore Road, as you can see on that northwest side of the concept plan. There is either existing vegetation around the entire perimeter of the facility, and if there's not, then we will be planting a 50-foot wide vegetation buffer, which will have a combination of, I believe it's, well, Sean can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's going to have shrubs and deciduous trees and then evergreens going up against the fence line. You can see here this yellow circle. This was an area that was identified as having a natural habitat of bog turtles. And so we have stayed 300 feet away from that habitat, except for the very small portion that is going to cut through this piece of the vegetation buffer. and we have been given notice from DNR that that is acceptable. And besides for that, I don't think there's really much other to discuss on the concept plan, except for this project is in conformity with the Cecil County Solar Code. Every part of the design is again 300 feet from either the road or 100 feet from the adjacent boundary lines, or 300 feet from any residential dwellings. And besides for that, I don't really have much more to comment on the conceptual plan. Sorry. As far as the details of the project itself, again, this will be part of the Permanent Maryland Community Solar Energy Generating Systems Program that was passed by state legislators in April of 2023 and has recently gone live. The energy generation will be allocated to the community solar subscribers who are Delmarva Power customers, and it'll power approximately 500 to 1,000 small businesses and homes annually. A minimum of 40% of the energy generation will be reserved for subscribers that are considered low to moderate income households, and they will receive a minimum of a 10% to 20% discount to their electricity bills as long as they are Delmarva customers. The plant is estimated to generate 11,600,000 kilowatt hours of energy per year. Again, that's an estimate. The panel array area is approximately 16.6 acres. The solar modules will be mounted on a single axis tracker system with a panel height of 15 feet. As discussed in the previous slide, there will be a 50-foot landscape buffer screening the project area with a minimum of a 6-foot high security fence between the landscape buffer and the facility. The operation phase will include a third-party operations and maintenance provider that will monitor the sites remotely 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. The O&M provider will be responsible for preventive and corrective maintenance. And prior to placing a project in service, we and our joint venture partner will work with the O&M contractor to purchase spare parts for the project, and we will have reserve equipment to ensure the purchase of the replacement inverter during the course of the project's lifespan. So with that, I'd like to open it up for any questions or comments from the public.
Okay, thank you. Counsel for PPRP?
Good evening, Your Honor. Sandra McLemore on behalf of the Power Plant Research Program. And with me tonight is Zachary Barthel with PPRP, and he will provide a short summary of PPRP's role in this case.
Sorry, can I get a sound check? Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. I see. Thank you. I see thumbs up. Good evening, Your Honor and members of the public. My name is Zach Barthel, spelled Z-A-C-K, B as in boy, A-R-T-H-E-L, and I am a power plant siting assessor in the Power Plant Research Program, which we refer to as PPRP in the Department of Natural Resources. I am the project manager for the state's review of the Port Deposit Solar Project generating station that is being previewed tonight. My agency, PPRP, coordinates an independent review of the CPCN application on behalf of 7 reviewing state agencies, which include the Department of Natural Resources, Environment, Agriculture, Transportation, Planning, Commerce, and the Maryland Energy Administration. Excuse me. The CPCN application for this solar project is currently under review. As noted by Judge Lawrence, on July 16th, 2025, PPRP will file its direct testimony and a letter of recommendation by the secretaries of the Department of Natural Resources and the Environment, in which they will recommend either approval or denial of the CPCN. If they recommend approval, they will submit recommended licensing conditions supported by a project assessment report. All of these documents will be available for public review on the PSC website under case number 9765. An in-person public hearing will be held the week of July 21st, 2025 to hear additional comments from the public. PPRP has created a project summary fact sheet with useful information regarding the Port Deposit Solar Project, and it can be found on our website by searching for DNR PPRP. Once there, please select Projects Under Review from the left side menu bar, and then scroll down to Cecil County. All project summary sheets on our website are organized by county. And that is all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel for the technical staff of the commission.
Good evening, Judge Lawrence. Ruthie Herman, appearing on behalf of staff, and that's HERMAN. On behalf of the Staff Counsel Division, we wish to thank the public utility law judges for organizing these public comment hearings. These hearings matter. My role as assistant staff counsel in these hearings is to represent the analysts and technical staff, which in this case are engineers, of the commission in their review of the application. Staff is a participant by statute in all commission proceedings. And in this matter, staff's primary task is to provide expert testimony on the effect, if any, of the proposed project on the safety and reliability of the electric system grid. Staff is required to file direct testimony in this case no later than July 16th, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to take comments from members of the public now. While comments are being made, the representatives that just introduced themselves will be taking notes, and to the extent questions arise that they feel they can answer, after we finish taking comments, they will have the opportunity to come back on and answer any questions that they can answer. I, however, cannot answer any questions about this case because it's a proceeding that's an ongoing matter under my consideration. So we had a number of people sign up to speak this evening. I'm going to call your name, and when I call your name, please unmute yourself, state and spell your name for the court reporter. Brian Racine.
Yes, Brian Racine, BRYAN-RACINE.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
I was just signed up just to listen, just as a neighbor. I didn't really have any questions. I was just trying to see how everything was going. That's all.
Okay. If you, after hearing any other comments or at another time you wish to make a comment, feel free to let us know and come back on and do so.
Okay, thank you.
The next person I had on the list is Krista Hine on the call. Don't see her on the participant list. All right. Kimberly Mallett.
Hi, thank you. My name is Kim Malott, spelled K-I-M or Kimberly. My last name is M like Mary, A-L-A-T. I do have comments to make. So I currently reside right now at 10 Morgan Drive with my husband, which is approximately 1/2 mile from the proposed entrance to the facility. We've lived here for more than 20 years, and we purposely chose to reside in this area because of its rural nature. We carefully selected this land, reviewed both the subdivision's covenants and the county zoning regulations before building our home here in conformance with those guidelines. We became aware of this project that threatens the quiet enjoyment of our home and our neighborhood less than a week ago via a very short article in the local newspaper, which is Lisa Wig. After reviewing all of those case-related materials on the Public Service Commission website and some other research materials, I'd like to go on record as saying my husband and I both oppose the construction of this project. And we urge the Public Service Commission not to approve the application for various reasons. Number one is based on the rural nature of the community. We do understand that the Public Service Commission has the authority to approve the application. And if they do that, then that will preempt the local zoning authority, which has zoned this area NAR, or Northern Agricultural Residential, which is defined as an area that is meant to maintain an existing rural character of the county by encouraging the continuation of agricultural and forestry uses. It's intended to prevent premature urbanization in areas And we feel like this project just is in contravention of that. The subject property and the surrounding area are zoned in accordance with the local convention, and we believe that the designation is correct. Decommissioning 24 or 25 acres of this farmland for this project does not maintain the existing rural character of our area, and it would result in misplaced urbanization. Other properties in the area must conform to the zoning ordinance, and we believe it would be a capricious decision to approve the application to allow the development of this one parcel of land when there are conforming alternatives in the immediate vicinity. A solar generating station of this kind does not belong in a residential area such as ours. For all of the studies and the impact statements provided by the applicant, there is information and significant research in opposition that addresses negative impacts, including land and habitat disturbances, water runoff and erosion, exposure to toxic materials, issues with decommissioning solar panels, and on and on and on. Many of these negative outcomes are what's in store for our neighborhood if this solar station is allowed on this agricultural property. Instead, I'd like to note that there are multiple commercial areas within a 5-mile radius that are properly zoned and properly better suited for this type of construction, including the Bainbridge Logistics Center, Chesapeake Overlook, and multiple tracts in Perryville, Maryland, in the Bainbridge Road area that will shortly offer direct access to I-95. Relocating this project, we believe, would maintain the rural character of the subject area and conform with current zoning guidelines. We hope that the Public Service Commission will take this under consideration. Also related to the rural character of the area, but of significant importance, is the current state of Theodore Road. The applicant proposes to construct a new entrance to the subject property off of Theodore Road and states that there'll be minimal impact except for worker travel and deliveries that will be necessary during the construction phase. There is no mention in the application of road improvements. We have several concerns related to the use of Theodore Road, including increased traffic and general safety. The road as it currently is now cannot support a commercial operation such as the one that's proposed. Theodore Road is a paved road with no shoulders. There are blind spots and it's hilly and winding. It is already heavily trafficked with cars and trucks that ignore the speed limit, and there is minimal traffic enforcement. Tractor trailers and other large commercial vehicles traverse the area daily to reach an industrial area on nearby Belvedere Road and come this way also to avoid way stations. We currently turn down the radio and roll down the car window when we leave our house to listen for oncoming traffic when we turn onto Theodore from Morgan Drive. There's also significant horse and buggy traffic from nearby Amish farms and also foot traffic at times, which may be surprising to those unfamiliar with the area. The road can be very unsafe. Also, the road has a significant drainage problem in the area of the proposed entrance to the facility, the correction of which is not addressed in the application or in any of the supplemental materials. Water pools on the right side of the road as you're headed towards Camp Meeting Ground Road. Whenever it rains, and even a minor amount, any more serious storm results in a flooded road that's only passable by one car at a time. Even today, and it's a beautiful sunny day outside, there is standing water there today. During the colder weather, the standing water on the road freezes, resulting in a hazardous area that's sometimes quite large, that only allows one car to pass at a time. There are several potholes that are increasing in size due to freezing standing water and the freezing temperatures. We have concerns that the proposed construction in this area of the road will exacerbate these issues. Theodore Road cannot handle the type of commercial traffic that is inherent with the construction and use by this application. We hope that the Public Service Commission will take this under consideration as well. Most concerning for us is the lack of communication, notification, and transparency regarding this application. As I mentioned before, we became aware of the project about a week ago via a short article published in the Cecil Whig that advised of the upcoming meeting scheduled for today. We were pretty shocked at the proposal, as we hadn't seen any signs or received any notification, which would have been required had the applicant be subject to local zoning laws. We were further concerned to learn that the Public Service Commission has the authority to preempt those local zoning designations. And again, we were really surprised online when we reviewed the materials and we realized that the project has been in the works for at least a year. Again, with no meaningful notification to those impacted by the project in the community. In the correspondence to the Public Service Commission dated February 5th, 2025, the applicant submitted proof of publication of notices as required by COMAR. However, reviewing the two social media platforms, we found that the applicant appears to have created a separate Facebook page for the required notifications. We reviewed the Facebook page on the afternoon of February 5th, and we found that for the 10 notices posted, there were no comments, no reactions, or other engagements with those posts. In fact, at the time, no one had liked or was even following their page. As of April 9th, there were 14 posted notices, but only 2 people have liked the page, one of those being me, and there were only 3 followers. A similar review of the applicant's X account on February 9th shows 14 posts with the number of views ranging from 1 to 9, with no one commenting or liking the post, and only one person following the account, and again, that's me. While the applicant appears to have complied with the requirement for notification, their efforts are disingenuous. Posting these notices on their own Facebook and X pages as a Michigan corporation pretty much ensures that no one in the out-of-state areas where they are planning to install these solar energy generating stations will see the notice. If the applicant was making a good faith effort to notify the community, there are a plethora of social media pages and groups that are local to the planned construction areas in which the applicant could post. Surely there's a better way to inform interested parties. Also, I'd like to note that COMAR 20.79.01.04b requires the applicant to do certain activities such as offer to engage the participation in the affected communities for the purpose of educating them concerning the project and soliciting their feedback, including designating a community liaison officer and identifying community members and project and community organizations within those communities to provide notification. It's unclear from the materials submitted to the PSC what actions the applicant has undertaken to comply with the above. Interested persons on the service list appears not to include any community liaison officer, community members, or community organizations, and it can't be ascertained if the affected community has been afforded any education opportunities and/or notification as required. We don't know anyone in our community who is aware of this project, and it's disappointing that all the parties have neglected to engage in any meaningful communication for the last year. It feels to us like the project is a done deal with only some perfunctory efforts made to advise local residents of this major undertaking. We hope that the Public Service Commission will take this under consideration when deliberating the merits of the application. Honestly, we feel blindsided by the fact that the PSC has this decision-making authority, which reviews the local zoning office from the process. If this was a routine zoning process, signs would be posted when those changes are proposed, and a project of this scope, we believe, certainly warrants the same, if indeed the public is to be properly notified. We believe that there is an opportunity for the Public Service Commission to revise both the requirements and procedures for notification that would result in a more robust community engagement. We hope that the Public Service Commission will not approve this application, and as I stated before, we are opposed. We are not against solar power, but we feel strongly that this type of facility doesn't belong in a rural area that is not commercially zoned and does not have the infrastructure to support it. Thanks very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your comments. Ashley Spar. I see an Ashley on the call. I don't know if she's still with us. Ashley Spar.
Hi, Ashley Spar is here. My name is Ashley, Ashley. Last name is Spar, Sparr. We really don't have anything additional to add. Kim essentially covered every one of our concerns that we had as well.
Including 1297. Including 1297. Who's adamantly opposed.
Thank you for your comments. Is there a David Best on the line? Okay. Is there anyone else who happened to be shared the link who has any comments they'd like to make at this time? Okay, as I said, I was going to give the applicant a chance to come back on if they choose to address any of the comments or questions that were raised. Mr.
Sure, I'll
Lucia.
just make, Your Honor, I'll just make a couple comments on Ms. Malat's public, I guess it would be a public testimony, but the property is zoned as an allowed use for solar. So NAR zoning in Cecil County allows for a utility scale solar. We are in conformity with everything within the Cecil County zoning code, including our setbacks, our vegetation buffers, and anything else that's required. We've met with Cecil County with regards to this project prior to filing our CPCN application. They did not see any issues with our design or anything that is included with this project. It's less than the 25% required of the total area of the property, as the Cecil County zoning code requires. And then as far as any social media, we, again, being a Michigan company, I don't think it has any relevance, but our website and our social media didn't exist until this requirement that's in place by the Maryland Public Service Commission and COMAR that requires the posting of the public hearing. That's why the website and the social media accounts exist in the first place. So because there's not many likes or otherwise, it's simply because it's a new website and we're not a very large company that has a very large presence on social media. Again, we're doing these projects with another joint venture partner, and they're a much larger entity, and eventually that will be disclosed, but right now it's of a confidential nature.
I believe some of the other comments having to do with runoff and also traffic safety are things that PPRP will address in their recommendations. I don't know that PPRP has anything to add at this time.
No, Your Honor, not at this time, but we will address that like you indicated in our testimony and our project assessment report.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, real quick on that topic as well. As far as the stormwater or anything regarding a stormwater management plan, I believe Sean is still on this call. That would go through the local jurisdiction, Cecil County. So an erosion and sediment control plan and a stormwater management plan, as well as a major site plan approval, that is still required at the local level, which would be Cecil County. And so that plan is currently being created right now for submission to Cecil County. And they should, I'm not sure if there's public hearings along those lines, but that would also be in the public domain for anybody to view at a certain point. As far as construction traffic, that traffic will exist while the project is being constructed. Beyond the construction, we'll probably have very minimal traffic coming in and out of the site, except for the operations and maintenance, which would be 1 to 2 times per quarter, approximately 4 to 8 times per year. So solar facilities typically do not have much traffic at all coming in and out of the sites once the construction is completed.
Okay, as I indicated, I'm going to post the address for mailing public comments. We're going to go off the record for a short period of time while I post that, and then we'll come back on, just see if any of the other people who had signed up have joined us, and then we will conclude. Okay, I don't see that anyone else has joined us. Thank you, everyone, for participating tonight. Public comments are an important part of this process, and I appreciate the time that people took out of their day to be here and make comments. Thank you, everyone. We can go off the record.